going on, dudes and dudettes? So, I'll start off with a little bit of USC football news. So, they did get a 4-star commit in Julien. He's an athlete out of Washington State. Looks like he's going to be playing linebacker when he gets to USC. He was a wide receiver as well, but definitely looks a lot better at linebacker. And with just a little bit of size, he looks like he's going to be a good player. So, definitely happy he picked USC. Then also they had a couple of preferred walk-ons, guys who are going to play on the football team but are not on scholarship. They did get a guy from the Ivy League. His name was Micah Kroom. I believe he's a safety, so add some depth over there on the defense. Then also they added an athlete from Wisconsin and Tommy Morris. So we'll see how he does. I guess he was pretty talented while he was out over there in Wisconsin. And then also USC basketball added a forward, Andrew Peterson from Rice. He's transferring over there. So once again, USC basketball getting yet another transfer, but did average 11 points and almost 5 or 6 rebounds a game. So he should be pretty talented, and hopefully he'll add some depth with 2 more years of eligibility left for USC. Then the Chargers officially signed once again the running back Derek Gore. He was on the team a year or 2 ago, I believe, and was bouncing around here and there with Washington, but he's back on the team, so we'll see if he can make the roster this time. And a little bit of more Chargers news. So they did a report saying that a couple guys that they would be looking to move that have been pillars or guys that have been on the team for a while, but I kind of think it's the right decision as well, especially with a guy like Melvin Ingram, because he plays defensive end, but so does Joey Bosa, who I think is the more talented player at this moment in their careers, and he's a lot younger as well. So I think if you're gonna move him, you should definitely try to trade him this year instead of going through a whole offseason battle next offseason where you try to franchise tag him and then trade him as well. I think just get it over and done with during the season, see what you can get instead of just allowing him to walk away for free basically and not get anything in return. But I just don't think they're going to be able to pay both those defensive ends and Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram, but I do prefer Bosa in my opinion. Then they also mentioned Denzel Perryman, who's a guy that they can most likely cut the Chargers, which I think would be crazy. You probably only save like $3, $4, $5 million if you do that, but I guess if they need to, they will. But I prefer they trade him to get either a draft pick or some other type of player as well to add depth. But Bleacher Report has been doing this thing where they kind of redraft the NBA drafts the past decade or so. And of course, when it came up to when the Lakers picked D'Angelo Russell in that draft, I think it was 2015. Of course, I wanted Jahlil Okafor, who's from Duke, or Devin Booker from Kentucky. For some reason, I just thought he could be the heir apparent to Kobe Bryant, which is what the Lakers needed at the time, even though Kobe pretty much stayed for that one more season. But I just knew they had to find a replacement, and I just believed at some point this guy was going to do good, and he has. He was great, and of course the Bleacher Report chose him to be the second overall pick to the Lakers. But I mean, he's the closest thing, I guess, Kobe-wise, because he scored 71 points against Boston, and he's done a lot of good stuff. He's a very good shooter and scorer in the NBA, and I just thought he would have been great for the Lakers, but of course they don't listen. But yeah, that's how that goes. Then ex-Duke player and now Lakers point guard Quinn Cook, he did recently do a donation for COVID-19 relief as well, so congrats to him, and good that a lot of these guys are doing it, but especially guys who are on my teams as well. So congrats to those guys and the difference they're making. And then also the athletic director for Alabama says that as of right now, the plan is to play USC in the home opener. There was a report that came out that said that if they had to go to a backup plan, then Alabama would play TCU instead of USC, which is pretty crazy, but I think that's just if the governor of California allows these teams to play football here or not. And then If not, then it seems like USC is going to have to move somewhere else and play for at least this season if they really want to, which is going to be crazy. But yeah, I don't know how that's all going to work out. The Anaheim Ducks re-signed and signed some players to a couple new contracts. DeJose and Hakanpaa, I believe it was his last name, and then Brendan Gould and Sam Carrick as well. They re-signed all those guys. We'll see how they do. They're just more bench players, but yeah, you got to keep those guys just in case they grow into something better. Then now Duke has been in some kind of weird limbo here because this marketing firm that was gonna sign with Zion Williamson, or they had, and I don't know if it was official or not, but I guess they're kind of salty about him going off and signing with somebody else and doing his own thing. So this person had said they're suing him because apparently his parents had asked for money from Duke and Nike and all this stuff, and they're gonna sue Zion Williamson for like $100 million, and the Coach K of Duke might get deposed as well. But I just don't understand why is it such a thing? Why this person is suing him over that, even though it was more of like a business decision. That's why she's upset, and bringing all this other stuff, which is kind of weird. So I'm pretty sure she's just looking for a settlement or some type of money for the fact that they did so much work to try to get a guy like him. But just some weird limbo Duke is in, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to get in trouble. They shouldn't, as far as loss of scholarships or postseason ban, but just have to wait and see on that. And then, of course, like I said, the day after it happened, when I put up that video of the thing that happened with the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash, that I was hoping that family members wouldn't try to sue the Bryant family for certain things, because maybe Kobe was trying to push to get that helicopter going no matter what. But apparently, according, it's not the family that's doing it, but it's the helicopter company, because his wife, Vanessa Bryant, did put a lawsuit against them, and saying that they failed to do the rules, and that the flyer of the plane, didn't wait and, do the correct thing he was supposed to do, which is correct. But apparently, according to the flight people, is that all the people that were involved in the plane agreed to the dangerousness of what could happen, and they accepted it. And I don't know, it's just another weird legal battle that could be happening, which is crazy and it sucks. And yeah, it's just all around crazy bad stuff, but hopefully it gets resolved, and hopefully we'll get some answers as well, instead of hearing TMZ break everything. But then PFF did a thing where they calculated the best defenders over the past couple years, and of course Desmond King and Eddie Jackson were part of the same NFL draft, and they were guys that I wanted the Chargers to get. They had both first round grades on them, in my opinion, but they both weren't selected till like past the second or third round, which is crazy. And they're two of the best like defenders at their position, and they could have been on the same team, the Chargers, but only one was surprisingly on the team. Desmond King was selected to the Chargers, but they didn't listen to me with Eddie Jackson, and he has a better grade over the past couple years, of course. So that's what happens when you don't listen to me, Chargers. I guess it's easier to do the video this way since I only have two more topics to go through. But once again, PFF is within all the Chargers feed, and this is saying that the team's most likely to have the number one pick in the 2021 NFL draft, and somehow the Chargers are number one, even though they've made great strides to their team to make it better. They even drafted a quarterback top 6 overall. So I don't understand if somehow these numbers guys think they're going to be even worse this season. Why would they even go for a quarterback and just get a good enough player on the offensive line, like how I've been saying, to block for a quarterback that you could have gotten in next year's draft as well? But of course, this is just crazy what's the projection for the Chargers. I just don't see this happening for them because, as we see here, the schedule was released last week as well. And when you look at this, they do start on the road against Cincinnati, which should be a win for them but they are playing the number 1 pick overall in Joe Burrow. So we'll see what he can do in his first NFL game, but it should be a win. But on the road at New Orleans, I'd say they lose that game, so they start off 1-1. You should always beat the Raiders. Sorry, Jesse. Yeah, so they should be 2-1 by then. Atlanta has had an off couple years, and I didn't really see them get any better. And this is part of a 4 straight games at home, which should help them out in the beginning. So I'd say as of this quadrant here, the first one, they should be 3-1, then on to the second one. I think it's going to be tough for a lot of teams to beat Kansas City, so I'd say they'll be 4-2 by then. The Jets, improving team, but still pretty young, so they should win that one 5-2. Should always beat Denver, especially because they're a division team. Same thing with the Raiders on the road. Will be tough on the road games, especially the Raiders one being Thursday, but they should get these W's. So, what is that? 7-2? Or no, can't be 7-2. 6-2. Yeah, definitely 6-2 to start off the first half, 8 games. Then back at home against Carolina should be another win since they lost Cam Newton. So that should be 7-2 right there. And then on the road against Miami and Buffalo, I think they should beat Miami, even just because they're a young team, but Buffalo will be a tough one. So as of right now, I have that being their 3rd loss. Denver, it should be a win, like I said before. Tampa Bay looks like another loss, in my opinion, just because of Tom Brady. Win against Jacksonville like they did last year. But New England game is a toss-up just to see how good they are or not. And Kansas City, yeah, they should lose that as well. So I have at least 5 to 6 losses, so they should be 11-5 or 10-6 at this point of the season. Definitely in a good spot. If I have them losing to Kansas City twice, they're most likely not going to win the division, but they'll be the top wild card spot in the AFC, which isn't horrible, but at least you're in the final spots to be able to play. But yeah, that's my in-depth look at the 2020 Chargers schedule. Hopefully it goes as planned, and if not, then I guess that PFF report will be true. We will be picking number 1 overall and have to get another quarterback, which is freaking crazy in my opinion. But yeah, let's keep on going. Alrighty people, quick outro here. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. And yeah, a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. That's why it took a while to get this video going, I guess, because a lot of this information came out the past couple days, and yeah, at least it was juicy enough to talk about now. And we'll see. Hopefully it's just more positive news going forward in the world, not only just sports news but everything else as well. Stay safe, stay clean, wash your hands, and yeah, have a great rest of your day.